The Last Duel is directed by Ridley Scott. Tells the story of, I'm gonna butcher this, Sir John D. Carnegie. That guy challenges a squire and a former friend to a duel to the death. Now, I love Ridley Scott. I think he's one of the greatest we've ever had. However, Ridley Scott has been hit or miss for me. My favorite films of his have been Gladiator and American Gangster, and I loved his Alien movie, but it's felt like he hasn't been back to true form. Though he is a terrific director, there are times when he can be a little inconsistent as far as the quality of his films go. Especially when he wants to revisit his dying Alien franchise. And when he's rumored to film a sequel to Gladiator. I am almost convinced that his best movies will always be behind him. That is until I saw this movie. My God, is it so damn good. A film like this is right up my alley. Brutal violence, layered storytelling, and also tackles a dark theme that is considered to be, triggering for some. I feel like Ridley Scott is at his best when he does period pieces like this. He seems to always want to make his films feel as documented and as authentic as possible. Everything is and feels practical, from the locations to the set pieces to the violence. It's a very brutal film, and it almost feels like Gladiator, but with a heavier weight to the action. And the scope is really epic, so it does feel like Ridley Scott is back in true form here. Matt Damon is fantastic in this, and quite impressively so, as well as Ben Affleck and Adam Driver. It actually worried me that Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, with all of their Boston accents, would struggle playing these British Englishmen. The mullet wigs, I just wasn't particularly fond of. But after watching this film, they do take this gig seriously. They nail the mannerisms, the accents, and it all does feel natural. But I do want to give major props to Jodie Comer. I think the taking of this role for her was a huge burden, especially in the climax, the big scene. That scene was really tough to watch, and to watch her performance from before and after that was tragic and heartbreaking. The script, as well as the story, is beautifully told. As many already know, this film does tackle it does deal with assault of a particular kind. Guys, use your imagination. And I think this may have been one of the films that handles this subject matter the best, actually. But I think the genius behind this film, which is probably on accident, is the fact that it's told in three perspectives. You have Matt Damon's view of things, and then you have Adam Driver's take, and finally you have Jodie Comer's. And how they categorize these points of view, they call it like truth. So like the truth of such and such, and then the truth of such and such. You get what I'm saying? Right now, this concept of my truth is being used a lot lately, where everyone has their say on things, and everybody's objective opinions are invalidated. But what this film does is give all the parties involved a chance to say their piece, or in this case, a chance for us to see their piece. While watching it, I was engaged, and I was going back and forth in my mind, as far as about what was actually happening or what actually happened. And, it was just, I was having a crisis because I was actually taking sides watching the film. And I think that's just kudos to the script, because, they do make compelling cases in each of these perspectives. We go through all of that, and then we finally find out what actually happened, which is, in this case, the actual truth. And I just think that was such a good way to bring nuance to the conversation surrounding this topic, and I just thought the way they handled that was great. Another thing that I thought that was unintentionally genius was the fact that it takes place in a time where technology doesn't exist. People are still figuring the world out and rely on the presence of God to settle things out. But with nothing else, morality and honor and virtue is paramount to everyone. I say all that to say, when what happens, everyone is left wondering who is actually telling the truth because um, all we have is the word of this woman here. And even though she may be telling the truth, the people here not only take accusations of this kind seriously, but they punish liars. So there's already a huge cost to accusing someone of something like this and having it not be true. And for the film, that just only tripled the stakes for the characters. And at the time, this was a real thing. You know, you can't just be making this kind of stuff up. Now, I don't agree with a lot of the punishments that they were doing for some of these things. However, I understand for this time that bearing false witness is a huge no-no. And when I think about in today's world where we have this evolution of technology and media to report things to us along with social media, it's hard to really contemplate the possibility of something not being true. I think about how easy it is to take a side because some headline may sway you, or you have a Twitter thread that's gaining all of these likes, and you know it's as if the number of likes that is on this Twitter thing somehow validates, you know, the opinion that's being stated. But in this film, everyone isn't so easily influenced. You have to somehow produce your burden of proof, and when you can't, well, you fight to the death. Now, I'm not saying we have to start up duels or anything like that, but I think the film welcomes questions that are unpopular, and when you watch it here, they do sound extremely ridiculous. I mean, this is medieval times, okay? So they do start talking out of their ass a little bit. But simultaneously, I couldn't blame them for based off the information that they was presented in front of them. When you watch the film, you'll see what I mean. But I thoroughly enjoyed this. I think it deserves way more attention. I think it has a really, really good payoff, a tremendous payoff. And I just wish it performed better at the box office. So I'm feeling a 9.25 out of 10. I do wish more people talked about this film. I mean, we are in a polarizing time as far as subjects like this go. And, you know, I just almost feel bad because there is a lot to like about this film. So it's unfortunate. But that's my review on The Last Duel. I hope you guys enjoyed that review. Did you guys get a chance to see The Last Duel? And did you guys like The Last Duel? What do you guys think of, you know, heavy themes like this being in movies? And do you have a movie in mind that may have, you know, presented themes like this in a better way? What you guys let me know in the comments. We can talk about it. And if you guys like this video, hit the like button. And if you love this video, hit subscribe. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Okay?